So check out this wall of neighbor submitted photos or customer submitted photos. They call them neighbors here. Pretty cool. But watch what happens as I back out. So this is the etrailer team. That's pretty cool, huh? And if you haven't guessed by now, I am back in Missouri and I'm with my friends at etrailer.
What's going on?
So yeah, we're gonna be brainstorming here over some really cool and unique content that's gonna take place over the next couple of days. And they took me to this room to show me this really cool wall that at first when I walked in I thought it was some type of mosaic tile, but then as you get closer you see that these are all actual individual photos. So I have absolutely no idea what program they used to create this, but that is absolutely insane. And these are all photos that were submitted by customers or neighbors of etrailer. That's awesome. So I got my buddy here with me again. Got Tyler with etrailer.
Hey.
And I am back out here in Wentzville, Missouri at the etrailer worldwide headquarters. I like to call it worldwide headquarters because it is kind of your worldwide headquarters. Yeah. You know, if you didn't watch the last video I did out here, you should definitely check it out because I got a really unique opportunity to really showcase just how massive this operation is. You know, there's so many times you go shopping online and you have no idea who you're really buying from. You don't know what to expect. And sometimes if you buy something really expensive, the stressful part of wondering, are they a large enough organization to take care of the entire customer service process from the beginning to the end? I know I've dealt with that before. You'll buy something, you're like, man, it didn't arrive properly, and you're wondering if it was maybe repacked, if it was broken, if it was, who's actually selling it to you? And what you'll find out is a lot of these online retailers are companies with like 6 people sitting in a rental building, and all they do is they direct drop ship from manufacturers. They don't actually carry any inventory themselves. etrailer tries to carry everything they possibly can carry themselves. You know, a message that they kind of told me, and I don't know how much of this I can share, so stop me anytime if I'm giving away like classified information here, but is during the pandemic, a lot of inventory never made it to these other retailers who ordered it, said that they were going to get a bunch of it, said that they were going to resell it, and you guys said send it all to us. We'll stockpile it because we don't want to run into a scenario where a customer comes online, buys something, and we don't have the product that we can ship out of, you know, or you can ship out of your warehouse directly to them. Is that kind of accurate?
Yeah, 100%. We had this opportunity during this time where we saw that, you know, the market had a lot of, it was a surplus of inventory, but people weren't ready to buy because there's not a lot of people knew what was going to happen, what was going on. So we took the opportunity to take the product in-house. The worst case scenario with it is we get to learn, right? We get to take the photos, the videos, all of that, and then provide that information on our site. So it's really worked out for us over the last year, having that surplus of inventory, and that's the great part about it, is it's all right here on site. All right here on site, so everyone in this building gets a chance to touch it if they want to.
Yep, and if you didn't look back at the video I did of this warehouse, you definitely need to, because it is a massive, massive structure. And it's not the only warehouse they have. They actually have other warehouses in other parts of the country as well that are etrailer owned, and they basically handle equipment to try to get it out to you quicker. Now, I always like to address my viewers' feedbacks and viewers' comments, and anytime, you know, I've had any type of a video on topics like etrailer, you get the few folks that are out there that have had a bad experience. And this is an interesting topic because last time we did the video out here, somebody left a comment saying, you know, etrailer again, I ordered this thing and it's out of stock. And what's interesting to me about this is seeing what you guys have on hand, but more importantly, seeing how much inventory you're actually shipping out every single day. I can imagine the logistics that has to go into making all of this successful every single time. And I say that because, you know, if I'm shopping on etrailer.com and let's say I'm looking for a road armor suspension for my trailer, there could be 200 other people looking at that exact same product at that exact same moment. And if I purchase that at the same time 5 other people buy it and you have 4 of them in stock, well then what happens at that point? How does the system rectify that? Or is there the potential at that point that we have to, you know, come to some type of a resolution to make sure that the product gets out and maybe one person ends up getting it a little bit later?
Yeah, obviously we run into issues like that sometimes, but the system we have in place allows for us to adjust and kind of have a backup plan for some of those things. But what you mentioned, yeah, if that situation happens specifically, unfortunately, the shipping times we have on our website hadn't had time to adjust. But we try, and we spend a lot of time and a lot of development work focusing on getting those shipping times as accurate as possible, because we know a lot of people are going on that weekend trip and they need that part. They need to know exactly when that part is coming in, or they need to meet them at the campsite, or when they're traveling, wherever they're going. We want to make sure that that time reflects accurately what's going on. Now, there are one-off situations like that where we do have some backup plans in place where we can ship directly from the distributor. But that just happens sometimes. And if you call into our customer service team, they'll make sure to take care of you, and we'll try and figure out a solution.
Yep, and you know, this kind of begs for me to touch on that topic I just mentioned of how much inventory gets shipped out of this specific facility every single day, because I saw the ticker. Do you want to say the number?
It's a lot. It's multiple thousands. And every day we're trying to get that number to 0. That's the warehouse's goal. That's why we have that ticker up there, is when they come in, they can see, okay, how many neighbors are out there that we have to help today? And the goal is to walk out of that door at the end of their shift with that number hitting 0. And that's,
thousands. He's not even kidding. Thousands upon thousands upon thousands upon thousands of items get shipped out of here every single day. They have to go to a picker, which means that's the person who has to go into the warehouse, and they have a lot of these folks with forklifts everywhere. They have to find the specific item you're looking for. They then have to bring it, I guess they have to check it out of inventory, bring it to the packing and shipping section. And a lot of the stuff that you ship out, you pack additionally. You know, you kind of have to repackage it in a way that's going to almost guarantee that it's not going to arrive damaged. That's kind of the thing, because guys, you would be amazed how poorly some of the manufacturer packing is on some of the stuff that's sold. And it's crazy. Tonneau covers, brush guards, mud flaps. Some of these things, the way they're packaged by the manufacturer just basically ensures that there's going to be some type of a damage once it hits a UPS truck and they start packing stuff on top of it, start jostling it around. So yeah, they repack a lot of stuff or put it in a larger box so it can basically leave here in the best possible condition. And the only reason I bring that up is because as long as I've been sponsored by eTrailer, as long as I've been talking about eTrailer, and I've been a customer of eTrailer, as well as the videos that I've done, there are always those few commenters that will come on and have some type of a negative experience. And that negative experience drives the mentality that maybe I shouldn't do business with them again. And, you know, when I came out here, it was eye-opening just to see logistically how large this operation is. And I've seen other operations out there, and a lot of them, again, they're ran with very, very small personnel, very, very light head count in a small office, and all they're doing is essentially reaching out to manufacturers and having stuff drop shipped. And if you want to talk about not knowing if there's inventory on hand, a manufacturer generally doesn't have very much inventory on hand. It's all sent out to retailers. It's all sent out to the companies that they have contracts and obligations with as well. So yeah, the intro to this video is, I know we talked a little bit about the customer service aspect. We talked a little bit about how large their operation here is. You have a ton of developers up there that are just constantly working and tweaking the website. That's probably the single biggest thing that blew me away, is that everything they do in-house, which is really cool. They have a whole customer service experience center. They have a whole experts group, hundreds and hundreds of people that work out here to try to make it right every time. And are they always going to make it right every time? They're going to try to.
Try really hard.
Yeah, they try really hard, and they do a really good job at the end of the day. If you've had a bad experience, give them another try. You know, and I think probably the single biggest thing to do is, you know, take advantage of the ways that they give you to communicate with the people that work here. How long did you say it takes when a new employee comes on before they actually are able to sit on a phone and talk to a customer?
It's about 2 months. They go through a full training session of just understanding the product. I mean, when you have over 300,000 SKUs on your website, it takes a lot of time to know everything about everything. And to be honest, no one actually ever will. But we try and spend as much time touching those huge categories, some of the more complex products that people call in about, flat tow systems, things like that. And then we spend a lot of time trying to train those employees so they can hit the ground running. Once they pick up that phone, they can answer your question right away.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I appreciate it. Today is going to be really fun. They have some things going on out here. You can see a tent set up over here. This is actually a really, really unique opportunity for me to come out and spend time with a lot of the equipment manufacturers that eTrailer sells equipment for. They call this week Tow Week.
It's Tow Week, yeah. And we have JD out here, which is going to be awesome. This is one of our on-site training sessions for all of our employees. So we have over 600 employees, and every single one of them is going to get an opportunity to come out here and discuss with over 30 of our towing vendors. So you're going to see a lot of names this week that you recognize, some Kurtz, some Demcos, things like that. But really this is just, we do this, and it's a huge investment from the company. But we do this so every individual in here gets that extra opportunity to learn a little bit. They get to come out here and ask specific questions about the parts, listen to some of the things that you guys are saying, and be like, hey, I'm getting a lot of questions about this. Could you explain this again? Stuff like that. And it's a really awesome opportunity that just shows the culture that we have, that we're always trying to learn, always trying to get better, and be more enthusiasts with the products.
Yep. And one thing that I wanted to do coming out here was to do some really interesting side-by-side comparisons, showcase the different features that one product may have over another. You know, the last trip out here, we did this really cool little quick walkthrough. It was kind of an ad hoc thing where we looked at fifth wheel hitches and some conventional hitches, and we talked about some of the differences. But while I'm out here, you know, you guys are probably just as aware as I am that there's so many new products constantly coming out for towing safety, carrying bikes, all sorts of different products. And there are really different reasons why a certain product might be best for you. And we're going to try to explore some of those differences in a much greater detail while I'm out here. So, Tyler, I really appreciate you inviting me out and having me out here to take a look at some of the cool stuff that we're going to be doing this week.
Yeah, appreciate you coming out. We got some great content coming. Make sure to stay tuned.
Absolutely. Guys, if you haven't had a chance, now is an ideal time to subscribe to the channel. Give me a thumbs up, and we're going to have a lot of fun this week. Talk to you again real soon.